Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to another interestingly spellbinding episode of the White Blood Panorama on your favorite channel, White Blood Multimedia. I'm your host, Omar Isa Dandago. Well, on this show, we try to pepper different politicians with hard-hitting questions about their actions and inactions. My guest today is an activist, a philanthropist, and a young politician. Engineer Yusuf Abdullahi Ahmad, popularly known as Yusuf Da'wa, believes that the present generation, if given the opportunity, would do better to quote-unquote salvage the country from her atrocities. And he continues to say, it has to be a combination of the old and new breeds, not elders only. Yusuf Da'wa is currently vying for a seat at the House of Representatives from Kano Municipal, and he is here in the studio to talk to me about his plans for his constituency, that is Kano Municipal. Plus, I'm going to be challenging him to come up with a better idea of how to unite our youths ahead of the 2023 general elections, the youths that are said to be unorganized, disorganized, and are even said to only be the puppets of the quote-unquote elderly politicians. How can he help reunite those youths who have seemingly lost their paths? And why does he even believe he is the right person Kano Municipal is looking for? Well, Engineer Yusuf Da'wa joins me now in the studio. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you very much, Dandago. Good evening, listeners and viewers.
Well, we are going to, before we dive deeply into the crux of the discussion that's talking about your plans ahead of the 2023 elections and your plans for your constituency, let me start with a very simple question. Who is Yusuf Da'wa, Engineer Yusuf Da'wa?
Well, A'udhu Billahi Bismillah Ar-Rajim, Bismillah Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulillah, wa ba'da, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Well, if you ask me who is Yusuf Da'wa, Yusuf Da'wa is just a little boy. He's an engineer by profession.
Good.
And a politician and entrepreneur.
Oh, good.
This is, in a nutshell, this is who is Yusuf Da'wa.
So how old is Yusuf Da'wa?
Yusuf Da'wa is 31 years and to be 32 in the next coming weeks.
Oh, which means you're going to turn 32 before the elections.
Yeah,
so,
I'm going to turn 32 before 2023.
So we are expecting a big party, a grand party,
no,
which would be like the opening of the campaign.
No, usually it's not about partying, it's about what have I done during this 31 years work and what are my plans in the coming years if alive.
Okay, that's really important, and you seem to have good ideas and good points here. Especially the fact that you said it's not about partying, it's not about celebrating, it's about focusing on what one has done and what is ahead of one. Okay, where did you and how did you get the name Yusuf Da'wa? This question has come from my cameraman Gwani. So
okay,
how did
Yusuf
you get
Da'wa, the name emanated while I was in secondary school. In secondary school, that teenage age. After school prayers, Zuhur prayers, I used to give an admonishment, preach about how to pray, how to do a lot of things Islamically. So they term me as Da'wa. Yusuf, come and preach. Yusuf Da'wa. So that is how the name started.
Okay, which secondary school was it?
It's Kano Science College.
Come on, congratulations. Let's check again. I am also an alumnus of Day Science College.
Okay.
Which year did you finish?
Yeah, it's 2008.
2008, I was in primary school. I finished Day Science College Kano in 2017.
Okay.
Some 5 years ago.
Yeah.
That's cool, mashallah. That's great. Okay, let's not spend much of our time talking about Day Science College Kano, even though it's a great reunion. I'm very happy. The last time I hosted a guest who studied in Russia, Khalifa Aikawa, probably you finished in the same year.
Aikawa,
no, he finished in 2012, of course. He was also an alumnus of Day Science College Kano, and he studied engineering in Russia. That's great. So now, let's start. Why did you join politics?
I joined politics in 2016 because, if you look at the situation we are in Nigeria, youth have been turned to political thugs, we lost focus. We are the backbone of this country. We have lost sense of direction. We are nowhere to be found. We are the ballot box snatchers. We are the ones that rally and campaign for each and every politician, but we cannot get even a mere SA position. Why? God is not going to send an angel from the heaven to come and correct things for us. There has to be some people amongst us. That's why God sent Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam as a human being, not a jinn or not an angel, to us human beings. So it has to be somebody. At youthful age, we are very productive, but our youth, what we are after is more about Champions League, Premier League, new vehicle, TikTok, what have you. Though it's not an issue, it's not a crime to be watching it, to be a fan of football, to be a fan of any or celebrity or actress. But what we are saying is that we have a collective responsibility to be part of government. At this age, we are productive. We have a very clear sense of direction that we can food our people. We can transform our community. And that, going by the antecedent of the politics of Nigeria, all the leaders, all the, what do you call it, the activists we had, they started at youthful age. Aminu Kano, Asa Ahmad Bello, Sardauna, Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, what have you. If you come to Kano State, one of the best governors we had was Abubakar Rimi. How old was Abubakar Rimi? Even the present President Muhammad Buhari, how old was he when he ruled Nigeria during the military regime? It was what our elders or what our parents saw, what he exhibited, that they thought he could do better when brought back during civilian rule. So
as a democratically elected leader,
this is among the reasons why I joined politics. I think that I have a role to play, and I have what it takes to be part of government, and my talent is not going to be wasted somewhere. It's going to serve the people. That is why I joined politics.
There is an allegation that says a lot of young people have decided to join politics just like you, not because of any positive reason, but because of the fact that many people term politics as a very lucrative business. And the allegation continues to say you are alleging, you are accusing the so-called elderly politicians of using politics as a cover to steal the money, the money or the treasure of the country. And like, you also want to follow suit, want to do the same. Is it the same?
This is, you say, is just an allegation. We cannot say that each and every youth, this is what he's dreaming of, But as a responsible citizen, as a youth, representative of a youth, we join politics to bring about positive change. It's not about buying a big house. We are not political entrepreneurs. There are political entrepreneurs, those people that they join politics to get money. It is not about the money, it is about serving people.
But how can you convince your people, the members of your constituency, that you are not joining politics to enrich yourself, you are joining politics to serve them? How can you convince them?
Alhamdulillah, I'm not bragging, but whosoever is come to terms with me and who knows me very well, that I was employed in one of the best organizations in the country.
Which one?
I would not say.
No, you can say it. Was it NNPC?
No, it's not NNPC. If I say organization, there are private organizations that are better than government organizations. If you go to government organizations, what they all collect is salary. But when they privatize these distribution companies during Jonathan, go and ask how much was a graduate being paid. I joined one of these discourse in 2015.
Is it an electricity distribution company?
An electricity distribution company.
Here in Kano?
No, it's not in Kano. But what a graduate is receiving is far better than what a permanent secretary is getting.
As in 500,000 naira per month?
No, you have to go, it's a secret.
No, it's not a secret.
Salary is a secret. If I say salary is a secret, because if I give you this clue, you might see your neighbor who is working there and you will tell him he is very rich. So not any civil servant or somebody, it's not a security threat, but salary is very secret.
Okay.
So it has to be secret.
And that's why you don't tell your wives the amount of money you receive.
Yeah, normally that is how they do, because they don't want so many burden.
This is not.
But what I'm saying is that I was doing good, and after then I joined one of these refineries.
Okay.
After refinery, I also joined a bank. After a bank, I quit. And what? I joined politics. I was an entrepreneur. I opened a small business, Advanced Cleaners and General Services. I was going each and every market in Kano State, marketing for I have a cleaning services.
Okay.
After that, then I joined another business, because if you know me, I am a grassroots person. I was a tailor.
Oh, good.
One.
One.
I was a carpenter.
Two.
I was a printer.
Okay, printer.
You can say it, a printer. I was a shoe shiner.
Wow, good. This
I was
a very low level kind of business.
I sold so many things, bread,
Oh, mashallah.
what do you call it, these tailoring materials, etc., etc.
So what lessons did you learn from all those menial jobs and small scale businesses that you took part in when you were growing up?
These menial jobs, you know, once you are growing up in the ancient city of Kano, if your parents are not financially buoyant, financially enough, you have to struggle, you have to survive. You have to find a way to survive. I found my way to survive during those years because my parents were very, very optimistic that I will get through.
Okay.
The lessons I learned is that whenever you see somebody at lower level during menial jobs, don't think that this is the end of his life. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. Definitely one day, one time, you might find him in a very high position. Professor Babagana Zulum is an example.
The governor.
He was a taxi driver, and look at him. He is now the governor of Borno State.
Yes.
So this is a lesson I learned.
Okay, so now how are you going to transfer it into politics for better?
The philanthropic activities I am doing is part of what I learned. Okay. I was brought up in a poor family. If I say poor family, you mean know what I mean as a poor family.
Middle class family in an American term.
In American term, this is Nigeria.
Okay, middle class.
We have rich and poor.
Okay.
That's how you can term Nigerian. Okay. You are either rich or poor.
Okay.
So,
but you attended university, which means
I have attended university. You know, it's a public university, not a private university, and there were scholarships during those years, 15 or 17,000 naira, which can cover your tuition fee. Okay. But the reason why I'm doing such things is to assist poor people. That is the reason why I'm doing that.
So what sort of philanthropic work are you engaged in?
Education.
Okay.
One has to be educated.
Okay.
If you want to pursue a career in politics, you have to be educated. You have to be educated. If you want to be a classroom teacher, you have to be educated. If you want to be an engineer, you have to be educated. If you want to be a lawyer, you have to be educated. But without education, you cannot go anywhere.
Yeah.
That is why we sponsor so many students. We sponsored so many students to write NECO, JAM, WAEC. That is why we distribute uniform to school pupils. That's primary school pupils and secondary school students to assist them to pursue their academic career.
Okay, you talked about sponsoring. Well, I believe with money, funding the education sector by paying for the examinations, NECO, WAEC, and JAM for the students to sit for and scale through and excel. How did you make sure that those students passed their exams, NECO, WAEC, and JAM? Did you kind of organize extramural lessons for them, for example?
No.
Because paying
the students I usually sponsor are those students that are exceptional students. For instance, in 2021, the students that I sponsored to write JAM were students that already had 5 credits, including maths and English. They had the requirement of going to university. They were not opportune to write JAM in the previous year 2020 because they have nobody to sponsor them.
Okay.
Their parents are poor or and something related to that. So I call on those students to come and write an aptitude test.
Good.
We tested those students. Those that scored 60% and above were sponsored.
Good. How many were they?
To 150 students. Good. And for NECO 2021, when the state government said that only students that passed 7 credits, including maths and English, were going to be sponsored, then I said those students with 8 credits, with either deficiency of maths or English, should come forward.
Okay.
You know, somebody they scored 8 credits. They passed 8 credits without either English or mathematics. It means there must be something. So those students, I sponsored only students with 7 to 8 credits without either maths or English to sit for that examination. And in their NECO, they had a fantastic result.
How many?
Almost 70% of them got 9 credits.
Mashallah. How many are they?
They were 100.
Okay, 100. That's
but in this year, we have so many students. This year we sponsored about 200 students for NECO examinations. The result is not yet up.
Okay, yeah.
And last year we gave 500 students uniform and writing materials.
Okay, good.
This year, by the grace of God, we are going to give 1,300 students.
Oh, that's great. How do you source the fund, the money?
This is through my foundation. Through my foundation, I have so many businesses. Okay. In each and every business, I allocated some certain profit, certain percentage of profit. If it comes, I will send it to the foundation. Okay. And I am not doing whatever project I do is not instant. Okay. I plan for project before it even comes. Okay. Let's say I have a project in the next 1 year. I will start planning for that project before that year, so that to have the funds, and I will be gathering the funds. I will be accumulating it little by little, so that at the end of the time, I will not, I will not look at it as a big project. It's a small project to me because over time I gathered the money. Don't
you go to some of the richest people we have and ask them for some financial support in order to help your foundation?
I have never asked anybody, even a friend, a single kobo to assist me in financing somebody. What I can afford, I do only what I can afford. But what I cannot afford, I always keep it aside.
All right, let's now talk about politics. You look like a religious person, and given your secondary school background, Day Science College Kano, people started calling you Yusuf Dawa because of the preachings and the sermons you delivered after Zuhr prayer, I believe. Politics is globally believed by many people to be a dirty game. And that is why most of the time when you take a look at the politicians of not just in Nigeria, but the politicians of the UK, the US, India, and many other countries are not so religious people. Yeah, so that's why many people started developing a theory that politics is not for people, men of God, people who are religious. Why are you going to venture into something that could end up potentially distorting your good name as da'wah, as a religious person?
So if you take politics as a dirty game, it is your own home cup of tea. To me, politics is serving God.
How?
I am serving Almighty Allah by serving people. Politics to me is serving people.
But do you have any justification?
Justification?
That, doing politics means serving Allah?
It's serving Allah.
How?
What is politics?
Okay.
Let me ask you now. What is politics?
I'm here to ask you questions, not to answer your questions.
No.
You are the.
If you say politics, we have series of examples that I can cite as politics. Let's go back to Islamic religion. Like I have said, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was a prophet.
Yes.
After Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there are a series of Abu Bakr, Umar, Usman, Ali, and other. They ruled people. If I say they rule people and they engage in politics. If I say politics, it doesn't mean democracy. It's a way of life, politics. How to rule, how to serve people, that is politics. How to interact with people, how to live peacefully with others, that is politics. To me, politics, I am here to serve my people. Because I believe if I serve them well, it will be a way to paradise.
Okay.
But if you are here to gather money, if you are here for fame, definitely that is your problem. To me, it's not a matter of fame.
Yeah.
I'm here to serve people.
Yeah. You have already become famous, so you don't need fame.
No, I am not famous. I am not famous. Yusuf is not famous.
Okay, I understand this. But are you, okay, based on what you have said, are you saying that you're going to, if you get elected, you're going to rule based on Islamic Sharia law or based on Constitution? Which one?
Based on Sharia. I am not elected based on Sharia.
Okay.
But I am democratically, if I am democratically elected, I have to follow the Constitution. You have to follow the Constitution. Follow the Constitution doesn't mean you disobey Allah. You follow the Constitution because it's a way of how people to live. It's a way of people, you know. The Constitution is not a crime to obey Constitution. What is a crime is if Constitution forced you to disobey Allah. That is a crime.
Okay.
But what is there in the Constitution?
So if the Constitution says one thing that is contrary to Islam, you are going to take Islam and abandon Constitution?
Give me an example of one thing that Constitution says
I
that
said
actually,
if.
You say if.
And this
You
is a
should
big
not
if.
even say even if. Big if.
Okay.
Had it been there is, then you can quote me anywhere. But there is not.
So let's move on. What plans do you have for your constituents? And tell them what your manifestations are, what your plans are for them, what you want to do if they elect you.
Anyways, like so many people misunderstood what is the term as a House of Representative member.
Okay.
House of Representative member is not an executive. You know, we have executive, legislature, and judiciary.
Of course.
A legislator is there to legislate, to make laws. I will go there by the grace of God to serve my people as a full representation. Since 2019, I have been in the National Assembly. I learned how to sponsor bills. I know how to move a motion. I know how to present, what do you call it? Budget.
Budget. Wow.
How to defend a budget is a responsibility of a lawmaker to call any parastatal ministries that they brought this so amount, they are going to spend this. What is appropriated to them, you have to question them.
Okay.
Through this, I can put constituency projects. So many constituency projects. Some people don't know about constituency project. You can lobby for offer. You know, there is what we call federal character. Federal character, each and every Nigerian, each and every section of the country, we have geopolitical zones. They must have representation in each and every ministry. Our lawmakers are reluctant. They are not getting jobs for us. Though it is not, you know, the world has changed. You cannot say that you must get a government job. Be an entrepreneur. Be an entrepreneur. You will survive and you will be better than even those that join government. So I will be there by the grace of God to represent my people and my religion. Kano Municipal, since 1999, we have had a speaker of the House of Representatives and so many other floor members. No any seat, you know, no any principal officer we had during this regime, only speaker. By the grace of God, we are going to get another chance at principal office. I am not saying, you know, by the grace of God, we know each and every nook and cranny.
Speaker, the second speaker from...
No, one cannot dictate what to be.
I mean, you want to be, not you will be, I said.
If I want to be, it doesn't change anything. Because it depends on who emerges as the president, who is the vice president, who is the senate president. They allocate it based on geopolitical zones.
Okay, that's really important. So now let's talk about this issue. You are vying under the platform of PDP, the People's Democratic Party, the party that started ruling from 1999 to 2015. It had this grand ambition of ruling Nigeria for about 100 years, even though the plan was cut off by President Muhammadu Buhari, the then General Muhammadu Buhari. Right now, they're zeroing it down, narrowing it down to Kano politics. PDP is experiencing different problems internally. The faction of Amin Wali and the faction of Shehu Sagaigi. First of all, before I ask you to which faction you belong. How do you think this factionism is going to be a threat to you contesting for this National Assembly seat?
No, because I belong to the PDP. I am a member of the People's Democratic Party. Whatever the National Party says, I obey it. And these factions, we have two factions. And to your surprise, I got elected at both factions.
Oh.
Yeah.
As in you belong to both the factions?
I belong to the People's Democratic Party. This faction, they had their primaries election and I emerged victorious.
Okay, one.
The other one, they also conducted their parallel congress and I emerged victorious. It means
so,
I have no issue.
Yeah.
And now the matter is in court. Okay. So definitely I cannot say anything related to that because the matter is in court. Okay. But I know I have no any issue. There is no threat because I have no any court case.
So how can you, okay, now I want you to convince again the people that you want to vote for you, the members of PDP, that factionism, the issue of factions that you have internally is not going to affect the elections of yours and the elections of other candidates from your party.
I have as I have said it earlier, that I have no issue. I have no any threat that maybe people are not going to vote me. In 2023, people are very wise, very, very wise. No matter the speculation, PDP is very, very strong. You saw it, what happened during our conventions. Alhaji Atiku Abubakar emerged as the presidential candidate.
Okay.
You saw it here in Kano. When he visited Kano, we are more stronger. Mala Ibrahim Shekarau faction or Mala Ibrahim Shekarau joined PDP. PDP is very solid now.
So now you're happy because of the defection of Shekarau?
Definitely, any politician is happy to have any increment, any increase in number, because Shekarau was a former governor, was a minister and a serving senator. Why would I not be happy? I must be happy that we have added something in our party.
Oh, briefly before we go, you said you personally don't have any problem, you don't feel threatened by the issue of factionism that is happening in your party, but maybe the members, the people who are going to vote for you, the electors, may be worried. Now calm them down, pacify them, tell them that everything is going to be all right.
Everything is gonna be all right, or everything is all right because I have no any court case. What is going to threaten me? Had it been I have a court case, somebody is challenging my primaries, I must be worried. Somebody is challenging the authority that got me elected, I have to be threatened, or I have to, I have to worry. But I have no any reason to worry because I have no any case, and I know my party is very strong. I have very good relationship with people, and I know people love me so much, even from different political parties. Some people that never voted are going to start voting Yusuf Da'wa, and some people that already voted and they decided not to vote, they will come because of Yusuf Da'wa. They will just vote for Yusuf Da'wa and the People's Democratic Party.
That's really significant. Briefly, who is the gubernatorial candidate? The legitimate gubernatorial candidate from PDP.
There is nothing like legitimate or illegitimate gubernatorial fact. No.
Sadiq Amin Wali and Muhammad Abbas.
I have no authority to tell you who is the gubernatorial candidate.
But it's INEC,
it is INEC that will tell you who is legit, and Sadiq Amin Wali's name is the one displayed by the INEC. And on the 20th of this month, INEC released the final list of candidates. Except death or withdrawal, voluntary withdrawal. So I have no problem. What INEC displayed is what I am going to work with. If INEC tomorrow says it is you, Umar Andabu, as a gubernatorial candidate of PDP, then definitely I will be happy to have you in our midst.
Okay, that's really important. What are your final words about this program?
This program is very awesome, and I feel fascinated that I joined the program. Though my appetite and my mood came at the last minute of the program, but I really hope that you will host me again to discuss so many things. But at the beginning of the program, I was initially thinking of something.
You
so
had
definitely.
some issues. you had some issues, no problem. But personally, to me, it has not affected your mood in answering the questions.
It affected so many things. There are questions that if asked again, I will give a better response because of the mood.
Yeah, no problem. There are so many topics on the ground that we can invite you back again to talk about that are very much part and parcel of the 2023 general elections. And inshallah, when you are available for us, we'll be able to bring you back.
Thank you very much.
Once again, what can you say to your electorates?
What I will say, each and everyone has to get his PVC, and during 2023 February, go en masse and vote for our party. You know, I am campaigning. We have to vote for the right people, and the youth, especially us youth, this is our chance. We had so many opportunities, but we lost the opportunity. But I am the youngest now. INEC says that I am the youngest contesting for House of Representatives in the major political parties. I am Yusuf Abdullahi Ahmad, saying goodbye to each and every viewer and listener.
I wish you all the best. You've got it right, mashallah. Just as a presenter, that closing remark is really good. Thank you very much, Yusuf Dawa, for being on the show once again. On behalf of everyone that has contributed to the production of the show, Gwani Abbas is the cameraman, and Zainab Abdurrahman Agogo is the CEO and the producer of the program. I remain sincerely yours, Umar Isa, and saying goodbye and see you soon.